I want to go team by team, get a sense for the one single thing that you think each one of these teams needs to do to be successful this year. We will go through it alphabetically as we have been, starting with you, Coach, in Iowa.
Iowa has to get off to a fast start with a very manageable non-conference first 5 games, including Minnesota. Vandenberg has to have a great year, and Greg Davis has to change things up offensively.
And I think to build on that is the fact that I think they need to really establish the defensive line. This is a young defensive line. They have to find a way to generate pressure on the opponent's quarterback, and I think that's going to be a key for them.
Big question mark. Inexperience there, and, of course, the running back issues. Those would be the two things they're most concerned about. Michigan.
On defense, minimize the big plays, no breakout plays, and keep Denard Robinson healthy.
I think 16 throwing more touchdowns and interceptions is a big key when you talk about Denard Robinson. Defensively, continuing to grow, and that's what they need to do.
Bar was set high with 11 wins last year. It's going to be interesting to see whether they can get to that number this year. Michigan State, their success dependent on what?
Rookie quarterback Andrew Maxwell playing well, doesn't have to play great. One of the top half rushing teams in the conference, being ranked 6th and up, and play great defense, 1, 2, or 3 in the conference like they did a year ago.
I think they need to be the leader when it comes to rushing the football this year. It's going to be a big key. Defensively, they're continuing to grow and continuing to make plays. This is talk about a defense that can really control games. They can take people totally out of it. So it's going to be up to that offense, to me, to really be able to control the game.
And as to how they define success, I think it's pretty clear from being around that facility. They want to go to a BCS Bowl. They haven't been to a game of that quality since they went to the Rose Bowl 25 years ago. So they are hoping that this is the year. Minnesota coach.
Marquise Gray has to have a great season, and Minnesota has to win all of their matchup games.
I think part of winning those matchup games, Coach, is not giving up the big plays. Over the last couple of years, this team has given up way too many explosive plays, 20-plus yards. They've got to fix that.
Schedule's conducive, guys. Those first 6 games, eminently winnable for them. Nebraska.
Improve on defense, which I'm totally convinced they will, and don't get distracted offensively about what you can and what you can't do, meaning run the ball. Don't worry so much about the pass game.
Yeah, Coach, I think there are very few questions about this Nebraska team, but one of them is, will they control the line of scrimmage, particularly on the offensive side of the ball? They've got to be able to run it and be able to run it effectively.
Northwestern.
Continue to develop the run game like we saw in camp on offense, and on defense against matchup opponents, stop the opponent's run.
You know, they talked about fixing the communication issue that they had. When we saw them not only in the spring but also just now off the tour, they look like they're much better, but they have to get it done during the regular season. Continue to spread it around because Kane Coulter's the guy.
As to how they define success, I think it's pretty clear they want to win a bowl game. As we know, they've lost the last 9 straight. That ties the all-time FBS record held by Notre Dame. Of course, they need to get to the bowl game first.
Yeah.
First things first there.